Hello, friends, and welcome to Talking with Famous People. My name's Juesto Enrico. I'm the host of Talking with Famous People. Today, we're going to discuss the dark secrets of SI. Now, I'm someone who has a lot of SI in his life. My dad's an SI tool user. My mom's an SI Dom. My ex-girlfriend was an SI Dom. My longest and oldest friend, Dave Porter, he's an ISFJ. Great guy. Spacey's girlfriend, Tori, ISFJ, SI Dom. I want to stress, I generally like and respect SI people. SI is very satisfying to me. It's a very rah-rah experience and everything. But in this video, I am going to talk a little bit of shit about SI. Yes, a little bit of shit talking about SI. The core dark secret of introverted sensing is that it ignores the truth. More than anything else, it ignores the truth. Right? The road splits in two. Stop. Okay. Let me just cut to the chase here. Introverted sensing is extremely stubborn and resistant to the truth. That's its primary dark secret. ISFJ has a reputation for being all super nice and easygoing and shit. Jake Forrest, thank you for your £2 sterling, and may I additionally apologize for failing to thank you for your generosity in the last turn at the end when I thanked Amber Drasher. I realized after the fact that I had failed to thank you as well, and I'll take the opportunity to do so now. You do give in my favorite currency, so that means a lot to me. Anyway, introverted sensors. What's up with introverted sensors? Is basically this is if this were a stand-up comedy routine, introverted sensors would be the airplane food. Okay. One thing I haven't really talked about is that there's been some conflict between me and Tori, who's got a very Kimberly-esque quality to her in a lot of ways. I mean, she's stubborn as fuck, doesn't listen, doesn't respond. It's just an SI thing. When you're an experiential knower, the truth has a limited ability to impact you, no matter how fucking true it is. And that can be extremely frustrating when dealing with an SI user. And also, it's like there's this, because they're experiential knowers, there's this fundamental sense in them that they know best, even though they definitely do not, right? That, and Rachel's mom. Rachel's mom's an SI tool user, and she's already run afoul of me, It's something that we're going to have to deal with. And the reason is very straightforward. It's like, I come bearing the truth. If it doesn't impact you, you're getting my foot up your ass. That's it. SI, except for my dad, who's in charge, My dad, he can SI me to death as much as he wants because he's dad and he runs shit around here. So whatever about that. But for all the other SI users in the world, it's time to start listening to the truth. The truth is more important than your experience ultimately. And it's always going to be. And it's true for SI users, it's true for NI users, it's true for everybody. The truth matters more than your experience. It's why, Do you think SI Doms would be better people if they expand experiences? I find people who have had more international experiences lived in many places are more open minded. It might help. My mother, for example, in SI Dom, spent her 20s traveling around Europe and such, and I don't doubt that it had a positive impact on her. Hi, Freddie Chandran. How's India treating you today? Do you pour milk over curry to make Indian cereal? That's what I picture. I picture like basically you get a bowl, you put some naan in there and some lentils and some curry chicken, and you pour milk over it, and that's breakfast. Dark secrets of SI, constantly replaying memories, embarrassing memories and mistakes from the past, which prevent you from doing anything to go forward, so you screw up more and you stay miserable forever. Okay, well, that is definitely a dark secret of SI, replaying of embarrassing memories. I used to be consumed by that. I was absolutely consumed by that. It was like every social mistake I ever made just lived as this massive memory in my head, and every social success made no impact on me. It's buffering, huh? Maybe you're buffering, Freddie Chandran. Have you thought about that? Maybe there's nothing buffering about the live stream at all. It's just you who's buffering. You're buffering too many pieces of naan in your India cereal this morning. That's why you're buffering. Have you thought about that, Freddie Chandran? I don't think you have. Dark secret of FI. Cry over a video of this little boy asking the Pope if his dead dad would go to heaven. I would never watch such a video. I would avoid it like the plague. It's like, oh no. You are not going to tug on my heartstrings. My heartstrings are untuggable. They're very tuggable, is why I don't want you to tug on them. That's the problem. Does that people eventually get bored of their own limited truths at some point, start seeking new experiences? No. They need to be exposed to a truth preferring modality at a young age and continue being exposed to it into adulthood, or else they get locked in. If you're damaged as an ISFJ, for example, it's very difficult for you to overcome that damage because you're so much defined by who you've been before and what's happened to you before. So it's like, it's critical with SI DOMs, especially, that they have good childhoods and they're very well loved and very well taken care of. Yeah, I know it's heartbreaking to watch. That's Freddie Chandran. So why the fuck would you watch it? Why would you ever watch that? I guess that's the dark secret of FI, is that it actually chooses to watch that stupid video. That sounds horrible. Nobody wants to see that. Little children grieving over their dead parents. I mean, oh my God, that's horrible. Well, don't be curious. Once the humidity starts going up, Freddie Chandran, you run the other direction back to the desert where there are no emotions. Right? She's still procrastinating. You're such a good procrastinator, Freddie Chandran, that you'd rather watch a video of a child grieving over his dead parents than do your homework. That's your problem, Freddie Chandran. I've identified your problem right there. Don't do it, Freddie Chandran. Resist the urge to watch sad shit. Sadness is bad. She can't possibly have watched all my YouTube videos yet. Now, I don't think anybody could even remotely begin to sit through them all, because I was watching one last night from a long time ago, and it's like, fucking move it along, slowpoke. Jesus, could you talk any more slower? Could you bore me anymore? Oh, Eric, learn how to make videos, for God's sakes. So, I wouldn't watch any of my own videos from more than about a couple months ago. I always just sort of jettison everything that came before as a general rule, because I don't really have that dark secret of SI. I'm not super attached to my previous experiences. I forget them easily. It's nice having a SI 8 slot person in a relationship. She's got a nice role. I've decided she's INFJ, by the way. I guess I should make that announcement formally. Maybe SI third slot people experience the dark side of SI worse since they have SC polar. They're stuck with shitty nerves since they don't do anything. Just an idea there. I like that idea a lot, Shreddy Chandran. I think you've gotten on your hook a large bluefin tuna. It's just a matter of reeling it in at this point. That's what I think. I like that idea a lot. Because you don't do anything, you're just stuck with shitty narratives. You could have good narratives too. You know, you don't. The thing about INXPs is they're always demonstrating NI, but they're always using in their own life SI, and that's fucking backwards. You know. It works much better if you're demonstrating SI, even if it's like 8 slot, like INFJ does. It's still kind of demonstrative. Way better to demonstrate SI and actually utilize NI. Shreddy Chandran, well, listen, I want to tell you some good news. This is a happy live stream, and all the stories we tell are going to have happy endings. For example, did you know that shortly after that video, that heartbreaking video you watched was made, it turned out that the guy's dad wasn't dead. He was just missing in the mountains, and he came back, and he's fine now. And they're all a happy family. It's true. So you don't have to be sad anymore. I find that I think of the past a lot and thought of the many ways I could have done things differently or possible different outcomes. Shreddy Chandran, I just told you the good news. Well, yeah, he did have a gay partner with him. Mom was kind of miffed a little bit. And they tried working it from a threesome for a while, and that didn't work out, and they eventually get divorced. And then mom's new husband is kind of abusive towards the boy. But, you know, the gay couple, the two dads, they're really good caregivers. And he ends up growing up fine. End of story. Yeah, he came back with a bear, as they say in the gay community. You know, a big, hairy man named Buck. Really buff. Yeah, really buff gay partner. Mom's so rich. Mom's rich. The dad got good money from the divorce. That's great. It is, you know, and because of the progressive laws, because he was gay now, they gave him extra money, which is nice. And it really is. It's a heartwarming tale. Well, the kid will be a little sad from the divorce, but once the kid turns into an adolescent and realizes that he too is gay, he's going to really be grateful that he's had this wonderful gay marriage role model for him between his two dads. And then he's going to fuck his way through Calcutta, you know, as is the want of. This is the want of. I read it correctly, Shreddy. Don't worry. I didn't read head. I read heaven when I read it out loud. I knew what you meant in your heart of hearts, where the dampness of your tenders is most moistened. The kid was sad initially, but he enjoyed not getting abused by mom's abusive boyfriend. Actually, you know, it's kind of weird. It's a little iffy, but you know, once he turns like 14, 15, he starts kind of getting off on it. He's a sub kind of. So he starts wanting to spend more and more time with his mom and her abusive boyfriend. So it really kind of works out well. It plays right into his sexual wheelhouse. Yeah, he gets off on it. And pretty soon the stepdad's like, I have spanked the living fuck out of this kid. What? He's just not learning the goddamn thing. He's just getting naughtier and naughtier. Call me a stupid fuck, Dad. Call me one. There was this guy in Russia who wanted to propose to his girlfriend who staged a fake accident and pretended to be dead in front of her, only to wake up and then propose to her. That's fucking awful. Oh my God. That's awful. Freddie Chandran, you're bringing me down with your negative stories, okay? Keep it cheery. Keep it cheerful. Keep it true. Okay? Well, here's how I proposed. First, I infested the house with a shit ton of cockroaches. And I pretended like they had kept me prisoner in there, that I was tied up by the cockroaches. And then Birdie blew. And then when she came in and she was like, ah! I threw a bunch of cockroaches on her and I'm like, will you marry me? It was the most romantic. It was the most romantic proposal ever. Brody Blue doesn't sound like your girlfriend is still your girlfriend. Or what she briefly, oh, she didn't say yes. So she's like, nah, fuck that noise. Well, one day I'm going to marry Rachel for sure. You know, I'm going to write some very, very specific wedding vows. We're going to read in the church. I promise to suck your dick whenever you put it in my mouth. These very, like, very sexually explicit vows. And we go to like some evangelical Christian church to get married, just to have fun with it. And I, Eric, promise to let you, Rachel, shove even the large dildo up my ass. We actually don't have any dildos, but who needs them when you have a penis? So let's see here. We're talking about SI though. We're not talking about penises. So introverted sensing, the dark secrets of introverted sensing. Introverted sensors gone wrong. Stubborn as fuck. Don't listen. Ignore everything you say, and just go. Meh! It's the worst incarnation of introverted sensing. But the best incarnation of that's pathetic as sad, Freddie. You stop bringing everybody down with your fresh from India horror stories. Oh, for God's sakes, Freddie Chandran, I have, and I regretted it. Will you stop eliciting thoughts of sorrow and sadness? You can take your goddamn FI and you can shove it up your goddamn ass. Okay? I don't want any more of your feelings. I don't want any more cryings. I don't want any more sad stories. You just stop bringing me down right now. Okay, Freddie Chandran? You obviously didn't have enough India cereal. Well, stop being authentically sad then. That's fucking annoying. God, this is what's wrong with FI. Well, I'm authentically sad. Well, then stop it. Jeez. God, Freddie Chandran. Emotions are not okay. I'm sorry you're authentically sad. I feel so bad for you, Freddie Chandran. And I care so much about your feelings. I really, really do. Hey, MJ. Rachel's been looking for one of your videos over and over again. She can't find it. She's been very frustrated. She keeps mentioning it to me. I think it's the one you made about me where, I don't know, you said some stuff about something. Just give me a second. I gotta smoke a couple hits out of this cigarette real quick. But yeah, it's like, what's up with SI? You know, I'll tell you something. It's like just because something doesn't happen to you doesn't mean it can't be true, right? That's what you got to tell SI people all the time. Just because you haven't experienced it doesn't mean you shouldn't respect the reality that I'm expressing here. And this is something I have to remember too. It's like I'm constantly being doubtful if until I experience it. Are you sure stabbing myself in the arm is gonna hurt? I don't believe you until I stab myself in the arm. Okay, now I believe you. That's the dumbness of SI, right? In a nutshell. That is the incredible dumbness of SI. It's like I won't learn anything until I do it the wrong way myself and find out that yes, that is the wrong way to do it. I mean, it's just as true for me. I think it's true for anybody who's front stack SI. I mean, obviously it's less true for me, not just as true for me. It's much less true for me in 4 slot because I'm much more balanced between SI and NI. 4-5 is very balanced. But it's still the same thing. I'm still a conscious SI user, so I still have this tendency, and I have to fight it. You know, it's like just because you experienced one INFJ act like X doesn't mean INFJs act like X. Okay, Eric, you got to remember that. Oh, you're talking about American cereal. So we were talking earlier about India cereal. In India, the way they make cereal is they take some naan and some lentils and some chicken curry, and then they pour milk on top of it. In America, what we do, we take some ground beef, fry it up, and then pour milk on top of it. That's America cereal. So you can see Brody Blue that America cereal is much better than India cereal. It's the difficulty of convincing people based on circumstantial evidence, based on the lack of a clear NI link between the defendant and the crime. Well, no, it's based on the absence of a TI, a definitive TI link. So when you have direct evidence, you have a TI reason or a TE, you might say, empirics to justify something, which are definitive in some regard. If I've got your fingerprints all over the crime scene, you were there, no doubt about it, okay? If there's a lot of circumstantial evidence, I mean, it becomes increasingly Amber Drasher with Thunder arriving again. Thank you, Amber Drasher. You're a wonderful human being. And we were just talking about circumstantial versus direct evidence and why it's harder to convict someone with circumstantial because it's less definitive. I mean, you know, so there you go. It's less definitive. It should be more difficult to convict somebody with circumstantial evidence because you're just saying all this shit really makes it look like this person is guilty. And if you get enough stuff doing that, then fine. But it's got to be a shit ton of it, or else I'm not going to be convinced. You know, it's always going to be the case that the person who's freakishly, coincidentally innocent but appears really guilty is going to look exactly the same as the person who's guilty and appears really guilty. Right? They're going to look exactly the same. So that's why you don't trust circumstantial evidence too much unless it's huge piles of it. Okay, well, that's not a lack of NI. NI are holes that can't be adequately deconstructed. And that's what circumstantial evidence is NI. Direct evidence is TITE. No, Freddie Kinder, you're not understanding the intuition. Introverted intuition says, here's a bunch of clues. They coalesce into this singular whole truth. Okay. Extroverted intuition is how you destabilize the NI case. Extroverted intuition is why circumstantial evidence cases don't usually win. It's because a good lawyer with good extroverted intuition can come up with a million other possible explanations, right? You can only make a determinate link. That means you're using TI at that point. Things are determinate, right? Like, I mean, if the conclusion is conclusive, then something can be determinate. Now, the determinateness may be a factor of Ni, but the conclusiveness is a factor of Ti. Not all things that are conclusive are determinate, and not all things that are determinate are conclusive. So, hopefully that clears things up a bit. You can't make a convincing argument for anything. That is false. Things have a rhetorical slope. Some things are much more easy to make convincing arguments for than other things. Amber Drasher, you, now that I am done talking law with Sriti Chandran, need to have a bong rip or two transubstantiated for you, for sure. Plus, we're going to pull some cards for you, just to bring the magic of tarot into your camp, working on your behalf. Because remember, the Slavs never want you to suffer from negative shit. So when you get negative cards in the tarot, it just means the Slavs are saying, watch out for this pitfall ahead. They're not saying you're doomed to whatever, you know. Right. Any users are wrong a lot. Correct. Okay, Amber Drasher. We're going to start you off this morning with the Rainbow Sherbet, and then we'll pull a bong rip of the Popcorn Nugs. Now, the Popcorn Nugs, remember, is not a strain in and of itself. It's nugs from little teeny nugs like this size or so from all the other good weeds at the top shelf. That once the big buds are gone, they take all the little nugs and they mix them together and call popcorn nugs. So this one though is the Rainbow Sherbet, and Rachel and I are both very happy with this weed. We think it's quite good. Does low quality TI keep making germ look like thing, for example, based on one or only a few encounters of said behavior? That's not low quality TI necessarily. That's something I do, right? But those general rules, I'm careful about it. So my TI is high quality, but it's still how an SI user fundamentally functions. We extrapolate out from the experience. So I'll go like, okay, Rachel does this. Does that mean that's typical INFJs? And I have to think about it a lot, you know? And I may conclude it is typical of them. But I always start with the experience. I don't start with the rule. I transubstantiate thee if I am a driver. I'm not lucky, Birdie Blue. I'm prepared. Now that's the white light side of SI. Being prepared. Having the resources you need to have, when you need to have them, where you need to have them, that's called preparation. The Boy Scouts are all about SITE. Let's be prepared, they say. Let's prepare for every contingency. We're just going for a walk around the block. Why do you have that backpack with all those supplies? Well, I like to be prepared. Can't be too prepared. Don't have to wait an hour in an AutoZone parking lot for some asshole to give me low-grade antidote. Oh, Brody Blue, my heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you. I have had plenty of experiences in my life with drug deals. And they are rarely efficient and on time, right? Doesn't matter what kind of drugs you're getting. You always gotta wait. Just like Lou Reed says in his classic Velvet Underground song, "Waiting for My Man." What made you think that Rachel was an INFJ and not an ENFJ? Is it because she's much quieter? It's just I kept stubbing my toe on things that didn't line up with ENFJ. Just over and over and over again. 20 minutes means something entirely different to dealers than to most people. Absolutely. 20 minutes in drug dealer talk is usually about 2 hours. He's never early. He's always late. First thing you do is that you always gotta wait. Right. That's what the government needs to do. Regulate illegal drug dealers to make them more responsible to consumers. Hey, white boy, you chasing our women around? No, pardon me, sir. It's first from my mind. I'm just looking for a real good friend of mine. Yeah. Amber Drasher, this bong rip is additionally going to you. I have now cleaned the bong. If the last one tasted a little resiny, I needed to give it a bit of a poking, the bong. Hopefully this one won't be so resiny. Right. You know what? That's a great idea, Jake Forrest. We should start Drugly. A Yelp for illegal drug dealers. Hug influence. Well, that's the curse of prohibitionist excess and lack of a open and free market for products people want to buy. All right, mate. Introduce you guys to Orange Fishu, just simply known as Fishu. Fishu is a little guy Rachel and I got yesterday when we ate at Chef's, which is a diner that has these machines you put quarters in and you get a toy out of them. So we got this toy. I got this for Rachel. It's called a Spitanimal because you can put water in it and then squeeze it and it'll squirt out the water. Anyway, Fishu here seems like a nice guy. I'm happy to have him on the team. I'm not sure what he does exactly yet, or what his voice is even, or anything. Does it fit up my ass? I would imagine no problem. This isn't that big. And it's kind of soft. I could fit this up my ass, I'm sure, if I wanted to. But I'm guessing Fishy doesn't want to go up my ass, probably. And I can't think of any reason why I would put Fishu up my ass. You air hug someone like this, mutant macrophage, like this. Aww. Pat, 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 pat. This is an air hug. Aww. And these are air reassuring pats. Pat, 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 pat. Aww. Pat, 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 pat. Those air hugs and reassuring pats are for Amber Drasher. There's a lot of reassuring pats there, Amber Drasher. I think you got about 20 of them. Fishu, right. Fishu. It's Japanese for fish. There was a woman. Oh my God. Stop. Stop with your depressing stories, Freddie Candron. Stop. Do you want me to put you on timeout for being sad? Oh. I will punish you for being sad, Freddie Candron. Ringo is Japanese for apple. Fun fact. Interesting. That is a fun fact. That actually is a fun fact. Ringo is Japanese for apple. What type of woman would wrap an arm around you, smile, and open the conversation and say, "You're kind of sensitive, aren't you?" ESTP? Yes. And see, you did miss the conclusion. I do think Rachel's an INFJ. And I came to that conclusion very, very slowly or carefully, so to speak, which is I just stubbed my toe on too many things that didn't work when I thought she was an ENFJ. She kept displaying things that were contrary to that. She tells too many SI stories. Not many, but more than an SI polar person would. Oh my God, I want to see the videos from the honeymoon night, okay, between Sredi and Can. The Sredi Can Scissor Party 3000. That's going to be a video that sells a lot of videos. Maybe dual relationships are only ideal. Both people are roughly the same age in development. This is also what I've concluded, Melandris, and more specifically, I've also concluded not just same age in development, but duality works best if you get with your dual when you're very young and you stay together forever. Now I want to skip the wedding part and go straight to the honeymoon suite, where Can and Sredi Chandran get their scissor on. I'm Topsies, says Can. I'm Sizes, says Sredi Chandran. Ooh, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We both have dots on our foreheads now. Oh yeah, it's so hot. Would you both have dots on your foreheads if you get married to Ken Krishna Sarmagu? Oh, you're going to do a threesome marriage with Sredi and Jake. Jake, you scored. You're in on the Sredi Chandran Ken Krishna Sarmagu marriage. Congratulations. ESFJs are big booty over big titty. Why? You know what? One of the wonderful things I've discovered about Rachel is that her titties, they rise and fall with the month's cycle. And right around, menstruation time, they go, they grow a cup in size. Duality relationship only works if you have the same goals and values in life. Well, it also only works if the SI person has not already been ruined by a bunch of bullshit, What? Wait, Sredi, you can wait to scissor Can until later. Stick around and chill out with us for a bit. Gee, what do values mean? Values refers to prioritizing frames, I guess. Which frames you prioritize in life? For example, the best way to understand values is to ask the following question. Which value do I prefer when they conflict? For example, correctness over kindness. If they conflict, which do you prefer? Do you prefer that everyone agree on what's correct, or do you prefer that shit not be said to make sure that everyone feels good, right? Those are things that often come into conflict. And the thing is, anytime you get the same kind of function, that is, say, deliberation, knowledge, action, or interface, you're going to create, there's going to be at least one configuration where the other kind of that same function is completely blind. So only a TI user can be FI blind, right? Only an NI user can be SI blind. Only an SI user can be NI blind. Sredi's wearing a black wedding dress. That is very edgy. Well, the main reason why I haven't had sexual intercourse with Rachel yet is because I want to keep her a virgin for our wedding night. Okay, anyway. Why don't each of you, Can Krishna Sarmagu and Sredi, each of you wear a zebra striped wedding gown, half black, half white? Maybe Can Krishna has the top half black, the bottom half white, and Sredi Chandran has the bottom half black and the top half white. Who's your fashion consultant? Me. Okay, so anyway, we're talking about SI, and we're talking about how you have to be a tool function user of a given function to be blind that makes you blind in the other one of that given function. So I think the key thing to note here is that like within SI is implicit the capacity to be blind to NI. Within FI is the implicit the capacity to be blind to TI, and vice versa. Within TI is the capacity to be blind to FI. In other words, of all the functions that are likely to be in direct conflict with TI, FI is maximally so. And of all the functions which are likely to be in direct conflict with NI, SI is maximally so. The thing is, to say you are in direct conflict with NI is to say you are directly opposed to the truth. And this is something that will frustrate the living fuck out of an ENTP or potentially even an INTP. Okay, Jack's going to give his definition of SI. Now, I hope you've accounted for the different ways in which information move in a system, how agents and fields and objects work, and the grammar and such, so it's simulatable, or else you're just blowing metaphorical smoke. But assuming you have, I'm excited to hear it. You want to go all black with diamond jewelry? Are you going to wear black diamonds? It's called coal. Black diamonds are coal. This environment is where things happen, flowing from one state to another in the present moment. That doesn't distinguish between vectors, agents, objects, fields, grammars, stuff like that. Not simulatable. Why is NI truth and SI not? Or you already covered that. A good question, Crystal, and I will address it right now. NI is truth in the sense that the introverted intuition is that which collapses this particular experience or renders it into universals, symbols, archetypes, whatever. So it's also the measure of which is determinate in a system. A good example I use is, let's say you gave a great speech. You were dressed well, you memorized the speech perfectly, you delivered it really well, you moved naturally, you engaged with the audience, etc. But the speech didn't go well. And it turns out you had a big booger on your nose, on the tip of your nose. Just like huge. Well, that's the determinant factor there, right? It renders all those other things irrelevant. NI is a sense for that. What's the determinant factor? What's the most significant factor? And what renders the other elements of the system irrelevant? So it's important to remember that any cognitive function is always utilized in the moment, but that most cognitive functions reference other moments in time. So, for example, introverted sensing in the moment can be described as how your body feels and its immediate relationship to the environment. Like my elbow slightly hurts right now, SI. Okay. But we also retain a record of how our bodies felt before and how and learn to anticipate things about it. Like I get hungry around this time, or I usually have to pee when I wake up in the morning, right? So that's the foundational engine of SI. Now, as a memory kind of function, it incorporates more than just keeping a record of your bodily experiences, but nevertheless, that's where the foundational roots of SI lie. And the other thing to note about the foundational roots of SI is they lie in object permanence. The fact that you learn that an object will still be there when you get back. And peekaboo stops working, okay? So note here that Jack almost immediately stops talking about the function and started talking about how people act and behave. He says he's going to give a definition of a function, but almost everything he's saying here is not about any function, right? It's not about a process people use to pay attention. It's about the people themselves or this other thing here, aspect, physical flow, physical objects bear a relation to each other in terms of occupying a physical environment. That's not a description of a cognitive function. Not a description of a process of attention. It just isn't. At no point do you describe a process of attention. You describe a lot of other things. You talk about people who are SI, you talk about environments, whatever. You're not describing a process of attention. So it's not a definition of SI. Teaching socionics what it needs to learn from Eric may be your destiny in life, Jack. Because remember, until anybody beats me in any of these arguments, I'm right and you're wrong. Okay, I gotta stop this stream now. It's a great place to stop at mic drop moment. So, but regardless, I got other shit I gotta do, and I'm feeling antsy. I gotta smoke a cigarette, and I don't have Rage Warrior to hold down the fort when I'm smoking. So, I'll be back. I'll need a live stream again. Not that much longer from now. A couple hours from now or whatever. Hasta la vista. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. And rock and roll, world.